Hey everyone, Steph here from Old Guy Melts Plastic. So a friend asked me if I could print this. It's actually a dice tower in the shape of I believe it's a black bear skull, maybe a juvenile black bear skull. Looks like it might be a little bit on the small side or just scaled down. And initially, the part I tried printing it all in one piece with a bunch of supports. I've never printed with supports on an FDM printer before. I have some experience printing supports on resin printers, but I just basically told Super Slicer to automatically generate the supports. And Unfortunately, when I came back the next morning, I started it last night and I woke up this morning, and after about 8 hours, this is what I had on the printer plate. And a lot of the supports had failed. So I knew right away, because the vertical supports were not going to be in position to support the overarching parts of the skull, that I would have to basically start over. So I stopped the print at that point, but what did come out looks really good actually. I printed it in this, it's Sparkle ABS Plus, and it's ivory white is the color, which, kind of mimics the bone and tooth color pretty good. And I really like the smoothness and the texture of these teeth that got printed out. So I decided to look into, what can be done, and it seems the common wisdom that I received from a few different experienced 3D printing people was to split the part into two pieces rather than trying to print it all as one. And so I did that in the slicer, and here is the top part of the skull, which is now printing, and it still has a few hours to go to finish the nose. But the supports seem much more solid. We've rotated the part, so it requires less supports, which is great. So less wasted plastic, and it's looking really good. So what I'll then do tomorrow morning, once this print is done, I will queue up the bottom part, which is basically another copy of this piece, but with the back of the skull angled out like this. And so that part that I'm printing now will just kind of glue into place on the front of that part. And with the right amount of glue and some luck, hopefully that'll be a nice solid print of a 3D dice tower in the shape of a black bear skull. So yeah, if at first you don't succeed with a single part, maybe think of a creative way to kind of slice it into two, and maybe that'll help, because you can rotate the individual parts so that they print with less supports required, or maybe at a better angle, so you have less sharp overhangs. All right, with that, it's time for bed. So I'm signing off. Have a good night. Bye for now.